Hello, scrapbooking buddies. We're going to be making some fun foodie pages today, and we're going to be using the Good Eats and Treats stickers. These are limited editions, so you're going to want to get your hands on them ASAP. And we're also going to be using the Serenity Fast2Fab inspired designer paper. Okay, so you're going to take that and you're going to pull out, there's 4 sheets that look like this. They have flowers, okay, and they have blue on the background. So you're going to need 3 of those sheets that all look the same, and then you can either use the 4th one, or you can use a piece of white cardstock. I kind of like the white as a little bit of a contrast, so that's what we're going to be using today. So we're going to start with this. You're going to need your 3 1/4 by 5 oval template. This is the second from the smallest, okay. I'm going to pull this down here a little bit, and we're going to cut 2 cuts using the blue blade on the outside. Then we're going to do 3 with the red, okay? So we're going to go ahead and make sure that you've got the feet into the groove, and then hold it and spin it around, because we are going to want to have this as our nice mat. You're going to do that one more time over here. Doesn't matter if it gets a little bit of the flowers on it, because we are going to be using the opposite side. Okay, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to use the red blade, and we're going to do it 3 times down here. Once again, making sure both feet are in the groove. Okay, all the way around. And I don't know if when you're using your cutting system, I find a lot of the times I stand up because I get more even pressure. Right now I'm sitting down, so I'm kind of holding it a little bit more. And the new blades have the rotating blade in here that also is very handy. If you don't have the new blade, you're going to want to put your hands on some of those. And we're going to do it one more time, because we need 3 of these. Okay, so we can set this aside. We've now got our mats cut. We've got the 2 blue ones, and we've got our 3 white ones. We're going to set those aside. Then we're going to take one more sheet of this paper, okay, with the flowers. This time we're going to put the flowers up here in the other corner, and we are going to be using the Ancient Keychain. This is a new border maker cartridge, very fun. Okay, and we're going to need 2 of those. So what we want to make sure that we're using this side of it first. So we're going to put that in over here, and then we flip it around. And in case you don't know how to put the cartridge in, we just pop the cartridge in like this, and then it goes in, and there's a notch here and a notch here, and it meets up. So we just bring that all the way down. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. Okay, I'll throw that away. Now we're going to bring our trimmer in, and to get the same amount of width we have on both sides, we're going to want to put this in at the 1.25 mark, which is the second longest line past there. Okay, make sure it's nice and straight, and then cut that off. Now we're going to do that whole process one more time. Okay, put this back in here, punch one more time, and these are kind of left over with kind of fun pieces. I don't know. It's got to be something really unique we could do with that too. Bring it back over here. We're going to put it at 1 1/4 again. Make sure it's nice and straight, and get that a nice cut. Now, what we need is we need 2 pieces, and we're going to flip it over to the blue side, and I need 1 1/2. Okay, so we're going to leave the lines over here. We're going to go into 1 1/2. And 1 1/2. Okay, because what we're doing right now is we're cutting all of our pieces so we can just put our pages together. Now we're going to do a 4 by 4. This is extra, we don't need, and we're going to make 3 4 by 4 mats. Okay. Okay, so we put that up there. Now we're going to need another piece of this blue. Okay, doesn't really matter which direction you do it this time, because we're going to be cutting 4 by 6 mats this time. So put it in at the 4 inch line. Okay, turn it, and 6. Do that again. And at the 4, turn it to the 6. And this is already 4, but we can double check that because sometimes the paper's a smidge bigger if you want your mats being exact. It was just, I don't know, 1/16 of an inch off. And then 6. Okay. And now there's one more piece of blue paper. You can use that if you want. That's in that pack that looks just like this. I kind of liked a little bit of a color contrast on it, so I'm using a piece of white cardstock, okay? And I can't wait for you to see these pages. They're very fun. They're in like coffee lovers and pie and burgers. It's just fun stuff. Okay, so we continue to cut these into 4x6 mats, and we are almost done cutting and ready to start putting together. Okay, so now we can set this all aside and we are ready to start assembling. So the first 2 pieces of paper we're going to use, let me pull my mat so you can see everything nice and clear, are these 2 pieces of paper out of the Fast2Fabulous with these really pretty borders on it, like this. And the first 2 pages we're going to be doing are our coffee pages. And I'm a coffee lover, and if you're not a coffee lover, you could leave the coffee stickers off. It could be tea, it could be whatever you want. But we are going to take one of our smaller ovals and one of our bigger ovals that are blue. We're going to be using that. So you're just going to center that to begin with. So flip it over, put your adhesive on the blue side so you have a little bit of color contrast when you're putting this on there like that. Okay, and then we're going to be using these coffee cups. They're so stinking cute. These coffee borders, and we are going to put it all the way across the top edge. So we're going to be covering this one up, but leaving this one showing. So I just kind of put it up so that that top coffee cup is just covering the top rim of that. So you kind of stay nice and straight. You're going to do that same on both sides. Look how fun that is. That could be tea. It could be anything you like to drink. It doesn't have to be your Starbucks or your Dunkin' Donuts, but just super fun. And let's make sure we get this one straight. We want it to cover just a smidge of that all the way across. Okay. And then we're going to take this and we're going to be making a little sticker cluster in here. So, oh, you got to be, oh, it's going. I thought we stopped videotaping. I got very excited just for a second. Okay, so let's get back to this. But coffee first, because I do love my coffee. If you didn't want to use this, you can use a different sticker, but kind of wait till the end and decide which one you want to do, because I might be using them on different pages. So if you don't want the coffee, leave these stickers off for right now, and then we can come back. And then we've got 2 of the great little foam coffee cups. Now with these, they just actually screamed to me to use foam squares on it. If you're not one of those type of people who like foam squares, then don't worry about it. Sometimes I'll just randomly put them a few places just to give the page a little bit of a dimension. Okay, so we're going to put a little coffee here and a little coffee here. And because I love coffee, I'm going to need to put 2 little hearts. So I'm going to be using this fun brown one right here and maybe a little tiny brown one. Okay, there we go. And we're going to stick that down. It's going to be up here kind of at the upper. I'm going to put this about right here. Okay, then we're going to come down here. Let's put our mats on next. So grab your mats, and this time I'm going to be using all the little blue ones. So let's pull out my blue ones, and we have some blue ones that have lines. We have some that don't have lines. It doesn't really matter. If you didn't want them to have any lines, you could pick out the ones that don't. And then these would be on another page, or they could possibly be on the back side too. So I'm just going to lay these out kind of how I like them. And the good thing about using a double mat, because I'm using my mats here and they're actually taped together, is that say I want to put this one right here at, it's 1, 2, 3 inches down. It's easy to see that as I'm laying them down. to get them the same on both sides, which is kind of quick and easy. So decide where you want those, like that. And then let's go ahead and stick our mats down once you get where you want. Now, if you're the type of person, you're like, I don't know which direction my pictures are gonna go, feel free to not stick your mats down, or like what I'm using right now, I'm using Repo tape. I love Repo because if I just want to put a little bit in here like this so I can remember how my layout was, when I actually go to stick it down later, if I've got it done with Repo, I could pull it up and put it another direction. Because so maybe I go to stick my pictures down later and I want to do something like that. So that is a possibility for you. Or you can just always cut the mats and just have them ready to go. Like keep them with your pages so that when you're ready to use the pages, you've got them all ready to go in one little place. So that's another option for you too. And I left a little bit more space over here because I want to do a little sticker cluster here. So now we're going to use the 2 coffee cups that are right here. Make sure you punch out the little handles of that. Okay, we're going to bring those in there like that. Now, once again, if you're not a coffee lover, you're not going to use it, just don't add this little sticker. I'm going to add it just because I am a coffee lover and I do take pictures when I'm out with friends having coffee. So I'm going to stick this right in here. Coffee, please. And then we are going to grab this little iced tea, iced coffee, whatever it is. And we're going to throw that up here at the top. And I'm kind of going to cover that one just to make that one a little bit larger. Okay. And then we're going to come back in and find the word coffee time. You could put this on with foam squares if you want, or you don't have to. I am going to throw a couple little foam squares on this. Because why? Because I love foam squares. That's why. Okay, so I got coffee time. And I'm going to pop that in there. And I think it's screaming for a little blue heart up there. So we got a little heart. Okay. So we've got all of our stickers done. We've got all of our coffee pages done. And now we're ready to move to pages 2 and 3. Okay. And pages 2 and 3, we're going to be using this green paper that comes from the Fast2Fabulous. It's very pretty. And let's see. I don't know if there's up or down here. I'm trying to see if I see like an up or down direction. I don't know that there really is. I think it's just kind of a design. And we're going to kind of make this just a general foodie page, so you could use it for any time you go out to eat or whatever. So we're going to start with these beautiful strawberries just to bring in a little bit of color to this. And I am going to bring it up here and I'm going to just kiss the top of the strawberries to the page. That way it's kind of staying straight. I know as it goes down that it is staying straight, and I'm going to do that on both sides. Okay. And do the same thing over here. And once again, if you like these, you're going to want to get these orders. These were for National Stickers Day. Creative Memories came out with these stickers, which was last week, and they are a limited edition, okay? So now we're going to grab one of our little circle mats, and on this one, we're going to do a little circle cluster, a little sticker cluster, and I've got this yummy looking strawberry or maybe cherry pie. We're going to bring this in, like a little piece has been taken out. I think we need a yum on this because that would be just fun to bring in here. And then let's use a couple hearts. So here's a red heart, and let's go with a little tiny brown heart right next to it. Okay, so here if you want to get a little bit creative, you could. You take a fine tip brown pen and you could kind of scroll around it. If you like it the way it is, you don't have to do that. It just adds a little bit. You could do dots and dashes if you want. Sometimes I just add a little bit of something just to add a little something to it. So there you go. So now we're ready to add our mats. Now this is the one, if you didn't cut up the white paper and you went with the blue, you'll be using all blue. But I wanted a little bit of contrast on this one. So I did use the white. Then we're going to use a blue one down here. And a blue one here. And a blue one here. And then we're going to use 2 of our white. This is the white cardstock, not the paper that we cut up. Okay. So we've got this little sticker cluster here. Kind of figure out where you want your mats and whether you're going to stick your mats down or you're going to leave your mats to do later. We are going to come back in here with a little sticker over here that says Foodie. Now, whenever I do this where it's going to come over my mats, I want to make sure that if I'm using a foam square that I don't put anything right there so I can still tuck my picture behind it. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's go ahead and stick our mats down. So I'm just going to center the mats here in this opening. And let's see, I'm bringing it probably about right there. Okay, put your other mat down. I hope you're enjoying these little foodie pages. If you like taking a paper pack and turning it into 8 pages, you can always visit my website at Paper Pack to Pretty Pages, and the link will be below this video. I do take almost every single paper pack. Most of them have a cutting guide. This one was so simple. I just didn't do a cutting guide. I'm just doing a video for you guys. But you can go check out that website. So Foodie, because I kind of want to bring it in on a little bit, I'm going to use foam squares. And I'm only going to put the foam square on this side. Okay, so I'll be able, I'm going to show you how I'm doing that. So I'm going to be able to tuck my picture underneath it when I'm going to do that. So I'm going to put it right there. That way I can tuck my picture in. Okay, so we're going to do a little foodie there. Let's go ahead and stick these down, figure out how I want them. At this point, I'm going to kind of want to like line these up so it just has a nice clean look to it. Doesn't have to be exact, absolutely not. But I'm going to kind of line it up so that it looks good. Okay. And that's the other good point if you're using a repo tape. If something you put down isn't quite straight, you can pull it right back up. So let's go ahead and put this in here like this. And we're going to do a sticker cluster down here. And I'm going to go ahead and put my yum page. Now when you're doing too, say you like the blue side of this better. You can totally do the blue side. It doesn't matter which side you want to use. You want to bring it in here. You want to bring, I'm kind of like it half and half. So I think I'm going to do that. And then down here, I'm going to do drool worthy with some probably this delicious looking pasta. So we'll do a little pasta bowl down here. And then maybe a spoon and a fork. Look how cute these are. Whoever made these stickers did a great job because they are just fun stickers. Okay. Make sure that you can see that. So we got our little pasta. We got our little drool worthy in there. And I did not take the center of my drool worthy out. There we go. Okay. So there we have it. You know what? I think I need a couple tiny little strawberries over here just to pull a little bit of that red color down to here. So I'm going to put 2 little strawberries right there. Okay, so there's pages 3 and 4. Now we're ready to move on to pages 5 and 6. We are still using our paper from the Fast to Fabulous. So we're putting those down here like this. Now this time we're going to use our borders that we punched, that ancient key. So you're going to need to put on the blue side, you're going to want to put your repo tape on it. Okay, all the way down on the edges. And then I centered it in this 1.5 inch strip. Okay. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. Put your adhesive on the blue side. Make sure you guys can all see what I'm doing. Once again, love repo. If you haven't used repo, you got to try it, girls. Got to try it. Okay. So now we're going to bring those down and we're going to put them about, and when you're using the mats, it's so nice that you can make them nice and even. I'm going to put this right here at the 1 inch overline. So let me show you. When I put it down, because if you ever put a border down, you're like, that's not straight. So make sure that your paper is straight on your mat. I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to start it right here at and I'm going to bring it up here, and it's going to be at the 11. And stick it down, and I've got it nice and straight. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And we're going to make sure our paper's straight on our mat. Put it at the 11, and here at the top, put it at the 1. Okay, we're going to bring our last two ovals in. We're using the blue side up on this one, and then we're going to use the kind of white flecked on this side. Okay, now we're ready to make our little sticker cluster here. And this is another kind of generic page that you could use for anything. I'm using Food is My Love Language. I'm going to take try to take small pictures so you can see all these close up when we're done. Maybe I can hold them up for you too, so you can see them all. It's hard when you have a little tiny thumbnail to get the pictures big enough so you can see. So I will try to work with that. I'm kind of got my Food is My Love Language just a little bit to the left, and tacos are also my love language. I love tacos. So we're going to bring in one like taco like right here. And I think I must have a foam square for this one to pop it up just a smidge. And we got taco number 2. And it calls for 2 blue hearts. So we're going to put a little heart here and a little heart here. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and stick that down. That's going to go up here in the upper right-hand corner like this. Okay, and there's no wrong place to put it. If you wanted to take your pen, you could doodle around there. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And now we're going to go ahead and cut that last blue piece. We probably should have cut that right at the beginning. I just forgot that we needed to cut all of them. So you were going to cut all of them along with the cardstock that you had, that white cardstock. So we're going to go ahead and cut 1, 2, 3, 4. So those 4 beginning pieces of paper, we would cut all of them. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now we're ready to put our mats down, girls. Okay. So for this one, we're going to be using 2 of these and 2 of these. Okay. So we will go ahead and stick that down. And whether you want to alternate them white, blue, you can do anything you like with that. Okay, so I just kind of want to line them up. So I'm probably going to line them up there on that 9 3-inch line, which means I'll tuck it under here just a smidge, which is fine once you go to put your picture down. Okay, so once you get your mats the way you want, go ahead and cut those. Go ahead and stick those down like that. Oh, I got to tell you, I'm recovering from COVID, and I think I have COVID brain. Literally, my brain doesn't work right. I don't know if anybody else has had that, but yeah, first video back since COVID. So we're going to go ahead and put all of those down. And get them done the way you want. Then we're going to go down to Treat Yourself. We're going to bring that in down here. I am going to pop those up with a couple of foam squares. Okay. And let's bring that in kind of in this little space right here. We're going to grab one of those iced drinks from right here. It could be absolutely anything. And we're going to grab a little red heart and put that in there. The last thing we're going to be putting over here is burger time. Who doesn't love a good burger? And I am going to use foam squares on that. So let's go ahead and put that on. Okay. And we're going to bring that kind of right here in the middle. Okay, and now let's finish our last 2 pages. Okay, so our last 2 pages, this is kind of dessert. I kind of waited for dessert for last. So we're going to be putting this over here and this one over here. Isn't that pretty paper? Very pretty. Okay, so we're going to be taking our forks and knives, and we're going to bring that over here and make sure my paper is nice and straight. Just kind of line it up on one of the lines so that I can keep it straight from top to bottom. And we're going to do 1 more of those on that side, because on the other side, we're going to put all of our fun desserts. So I'm going to line that up on that little line right there, and that one right there, and stick it down. Now over on this side, we're going to put too pretty to eat. I don't know how many, we took a cruise not too long ago, and there was some food on that cruise which was literally too pretty to eat, but we went ahead and ate it anyway. But I will be able to use this on that cruise page, that's for sure. Okay, so now we're just going to put some fun desserts along the edge here. So I'm going to kind of start with my cupcakes, which I do think I'm going to pop my cupcakes just a little bit. So when I'm putting stickers kind of down the edge, I kind of want to start with my bigger ones and then fill them in with the smaller ones. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pop this one. Make sure this doesn't show. Pop this one maybe here. And I'm going to put this one here. And then we have some cheesecakes. So yeah, we're going to put those in here. That's for sure. Maybe put that one here and another one up here. And then there's some fun little macaroons. So just kind of throw those in there, here, there, and everywhere. Maybe there. And we got a little green one we'll throw up here. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now we're ready to put our mats on. And all I did was run my mat straight down the middle. So let's see. And you kind of mix up the colors a little bit if you want, because you should have 3 of each left. Something like that. Now I'm going to put my paper back in the center. So we can see that this ends at 10. So I've got 2 inches here and I got 2 inches there. So when I'm putting this down, if I want to center it nice and straight, I can tell that exactly when I'm doing my mat. So go ahead and stick your mats down. And then we have one more sticker cluster that we're going to do. And we're almost done. So you are going to be left with a few little stickers, which is kind of nice. And there's just a smidge of paper. Not very much. Not really even enough to keep because we used almost everything. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to line it up and I'm going to put it at the 10 and the 4. And then straight down the edge. Hope you're enjoying this. Make sure you put in your comments what you're going to use your pages for. I'm very excited to see what everybody's going to do with them. And let's make sure that we get that all the way on there. Our last little sticker cluster that we're going to do is we've got the word sweet treats and good eats. So we are going to use both of these. And if you want to pop one of them, I think I'll pop the sweet treats. So a couple little foam squares right there. Okay, so we're going to do sweet treats right there. Can everybody see that? I didn't go off my screen. Good. And then good eats kind of right there below it. And I think we're going to do a little red heart up there to bring in the red to this side of the page. And there we go. We have done it. So let me just quick show you all the pages. Once again, here's your sweet treat pages. Then, in case you need to see it, here's your burger time pages. And food is my love language. We got the drool worthy, which is really just good for any foodie pages. And then my personal favorite, which is coffee time. So put in the comments what you like. Make sure you subscribe, and happy scrapbooking.